Hi everyone and welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight for our presentation on the first year fellowship. This is our proposal for the UGBC and BC Office of Sustainability case competition. We're MODA Consulting and I am Molly Dugan. I am an environmental studies major and a Hispanic studies minor.
And I'm Seta Sargasung, and I'm a finance major with a marketing background. So let's dive in. This is our executive summary, and the concept we're proposing is a sustainability fellowship for first-year students. Now, there is a strong opportunity to pursue this fellowship with BC student stakeholders because a lot of people want to be involved with the Office of Sustainability. Current interns have been saying that there's an influx in their mailbox saying, "Are you hiring?" And there's a lack of funding and staff within the Office of Sustainability. So this fellowship addresses that market really well. And it leads to extremely high synergies, low costs, and incentivizes high productiveness among a plethora of things. So what would this program be? The program would be interns who are given autonomy to create an internal program which will foster inter-club collaboration and integrate the Office of Sustainability on BC's campus. And just to dive in, let's do a comparative analysis. So these are 3 universities in the Massachusetts area that are similar to Boston College. So we didn't include all the universities, but just these 3 because they are the most similar. So we chose a few factors. We chose team, reporting, impact, engagement, and transparency to look at. So if we look at team, first of all, we have these 3 universities have all full-time employees as well as student interns, and they all report, they all have high impacts and engagement with their student body. Now, if we add BC to the mix, we see that BC currently has 0 full-time employees in the Office of Sustainability. Instead, it has an interim director from a different department and 4 student interns. So these 4 student interns are operating with little to no guidance. And this leads to no reporting happening, there's limited cyclical impact, and engagement is low on campus because of that cyclical impact. So although there's some things that BC could improve at, this also means that there's a significant upside. There's a lot of growth and room to grow. So if we see BC has a moderate sustainability impact, like initiatives like the Beehive or the Garden at Boston College, but there is so much more that BC can do if it was provided with more staff. But hiring is difficult because of funding. So as we can see, BC is positioned in a high growth position with a moderate sustainability impact, whereas MIT, Boston University, Tufts, and Harvard are more on the high sustainability and mid to high growth potentials.
Right. And that being said, we've boiled down our kind of moderate sustainability impact currently. We've boiled it down to 3 core problems. That is, the Office of Sustainability is disconnected from campus, both physically and socially. The team is understaffed with just 4 part-time interns and no full-time employees. And further, there are financial constraints that are limiting the progress, or at least the perceived progress, of the Office of Sustainability. And so to hone in a little bit more on these core issues we have identified, we'll start with the disconnect from campus. So physically speaking, the Office of Sustainability is at 300 Hammond Pond Parkway, which is 1.4 miles from Gaston Hall. That is a 7-minute drive, which is not too bad. However, the majority of students don't have access to a car, so it makes it a little tricky to get there. It's a 9-minute bike ride, but that being said, not everybody has access to a bicycle, and those who do may not feel comfortable biking there, given that they'd likely have to bike along main roads, and there's limited bike lanes. And finally, there's a 30-minute walk, but this is an issue too in the winter for many students, given that it gets cold in Boston in the winter. So the amount of students who, whether working there or not working there, have the opportunity to, or take the initiative to go visit the office and to learn more about it the number of students who do so is limited due to these, I guess, physical restraints. And then socially speaking, event to event, there's low retention just because these are usually one-off events like the UGBC case competition, as we're doing now, and Boston College's Green Week, for example, though there is collaboration with other clubs. Like in this case, UGBC and the Office of Sustainability are collaborating, or Green Week, where a lot of the green clubs get together to put on this event. It's not usually recurrent throughout the semester. And continuing on, there are just 4 part-time student interns, as we've mentioned, and this is kind of problematic, or at least tricky to navigate, given that 3 of these 4 interns, or 75% of them, will be graduating in either 2025 or 2026. Furthermore, I guess that just shows that there's reduced capacity for long-term projects in that sense when you don't have people coming back year after year, or I guess you may have them coming back year after year, but there is a limited time scale from freshman year to graduation. Another kind of issue, just sticking with problem 2 right now, is that with just 4 employees, there's a risk for intern burnout. There's a lot to do on this campus, as we mentioned. There's high growth potential, but a limited workforce or a limited staff. And finally, with just 4 people, there's limited resources for campus-wide engagement. And then finally, we wanted to focus on financial constraints as our third identified core problem. So one way that a lot of organizations on campus get funding is through donations, but here's the Boston College donations page, or this is a photo of it. And when you go to make your selection, there's really no way for someone to directly donate to the office, which would greatly increase, I imagine, what the office could do and the events it could put on. And if you zoom in, or the zoomed in circle here shows that even when you type in sustainability, there's really nothing that pops up. So there's low engagement from community stakeholders who may want to give back to the office. Continuing on, we have noticed that the Office of Sustainability is grouped under the Facilities Department at Boston College, which is responsible for a variety of things, or a variety of services the campus or the university offers, like trade services, custodial services, for example, landscape services, athletic maintenance, mail and package services, warehouse storage operations, university properties, and last but not least, sustainability. And if you go on the website, these services will all be listed in this order, with sustainability coming up last. And I made sure it wasn't in alphabetical order, given that T does come after C in the alphabet last time I checked. So perhaps this shows where some of the university priorities are at. And the question marks there are to show that when we looked into it, although we were able to find information from Boston University, for example, on their sustainability or Office of Sustainability finances, in addition to their facilities finances, Seta and I had a challenging time locating any financial transparency finding any really financial documents online that would kind of guide us as we developed our proposal, which is why we've come up with the first year fellowship. So what exactly is the first year fellowship? Well, it's a 1-year fellowship with the Office of Sustainability for first year BC students from all majors and backgrounds who are interested in sustainability. And to get a little more specific, from a logistics standpoint, we're proposing that in the fall of 2025 and spring of 2026, the first cohort of the BC Office of Sustainability is selected to join the program, and that would be roughly 8 to 12 fellows, depending on how the application process goes and how many qualified students apply. And then what the program itself would look like is there would be weekly requirements. So every week there would be a reflection as a cohort. So the group of 8 to 12 fellows, along with the 4 student interns or more, if more are hired next year, sit down weekly. This could be in a communal space that gets booked online, like the communal spaces in 2150, for example. And the students get to know each other through bonding activities, and also speakers could be something to bring into, which would increase campus engagement from a social perspective. So people like professors who are engaged with sustainability initiatives or other sustainable or green clubs on campus, like Eco Pledge or Plant Club, could come in or have a representative come in and talk about their organization to continue building bonds between the BC Office of Sustainability and the green organizations on campus. This would also include mentor shadowing. So we would have each freshman fellow shadow their mentor, which would be one of the BC Office of Sustainability interns, for 1 shift a week, and then complete deliverables assigned to them by their mentor for the next meeting the following week. And I'm sure you're wondering right now, okay, why would a freshman apply? Well, we took the liberty as former freshmen ourselves to map out some of the motivating factors that a freshman might consider when at the club fair, for example, or when considering what to sign up for their first fall at BC. And from our experience, freshmen are looking for work experience that they can add to their resume. They're looking to build their community or their sense of community in a new place. And they're looking to do things that are impactful. And so these core things have been highlighted, and they're all intertwined and interconnected. The more experience you get, the more you can add to your resume, the more you grow intellectually, the greater network you have. For example, when you do mission-driven work, you positively impact campus, and as a result, your community, and vice versa. You get to know BC more. The list goes on, but we feel confident that this is a program that freshmen would be eager to jump into and explore further.
And as Molly said, freshmen are super excited to get involved on BC's campus in any way possible. And having a program like this fellowship program that really blends together beautifully a lot of different core values of freshmen is an incredible opportunity. So this then leads into a lot of synergies between the Office of Sustainability as well as BC's stakeholders and community. So it leads to more inclusion on campus. 8 to 12 interns, a part of the Office of Sustainability in the fellowship program, would boost so much recognition. People would really enjoy it. Then they'd talk to their friends about it, and organic word of mouth would just grow from there. And then this also kind of coincides with a reputation boost. These both increase. And a part of the Office of Sustainability, sometimes there's, a little bit of stagnation. So sometimes there'll be a little bit of time where there's really not many tasks to complete, or maybe there's a mismatch. There's something to do, but a current intern wouldn't have the capacity to do that. But with a fellow, with all these interdisciplinary interests, these can all be solved and improved. And then on the Office of Sustainability side, team morale and visibility grows up as these interns have their own community. They get to grow and foster and create passion for sustainability with the new generation. Innovation goes up. The bandwidth of the Office of Sustainability skyrockets, allowing so much more to be able to get done in a really efficient way. And so that being said, this is our implementation strategy starting from next month in April. So we split it up into 5 phases: planning, design, development, launch, and just maintenance, which is overall. So in April and May, it would mostly be planning and development. Development meaning engaging campus department, finding mentors, planning being more so brainstorming goals, leadership, and doing a lot of outreach to student-led sustainability clubs. And alongside that, then we move on to the summer months, where crucial program dates should be outlined and the curriculum should be solidified. And then here comes the exciting part. In July, the application gets finalized and outreach materials get sent to Eagle Print to print, and then everything starts to kind of come together at the fairs that BC throws on. And the best thing about this entire fellowship program is costs are incredibly low. And for a department that's a little bit financially constrained, this is incredible because you could be able to do so much impact with relatively no cost. So we have this range right here because the cost would be $0 from what has been already spent, which is the intern's salaries, to $210, which is the cost we calculated that would take to print out all the application materials. So this is an incredible opportunity to pursue. So undoubtedly, there's going to be some risks involved. There's a lot of moving parts to this fellowship program, and there could be a lack of accountability. Marketing costs are a little bit of a risk. And another major one is low turnout, which is you never know how many students are actually going to be interested in this program. But safeguards can be implemented. So with a shared online management tool, interns can work together, share costs, and they can really collaborate really well together and ensure the safe running of this program. And another option to pursue would also be to collaborate a little bit with the sustainability division, a part of UGBC. And then to limit the costs, if the $210 might be a little bit too much, a little bit more than what the Office of Sustainability wants to spend, the office could also opt to only do digital promotion, which is both eco-conscious and super well known. If someone's in the Plex doing a workout and sees this internship, more than likely they're going to be pretty enticed to it. And then clear organizational structure and early engagement all allow for this program to be a success and the risks to be kind of mitigated. And this is a feasible program. There's low cost. Campus community is engaged organically, meaning word of mouth is the primary way that this program gets spread. And then you have eager interns. Freshmen have a lot of free time and they want to pursue passion projects. So this is a great way to do that, network, meet a lot of people, and have a tangible impact on the BC community as a whole. And to make it even easier, a pilot program could be initiated next fall. And if it doesn't go well, no harm, no foul. But if it does go well, then you have an entire community that you're building from day one. So, Molly, if you'd like to take over the summary.
Sure. So just to recap quickly, we're proposing a first-year fellowship for the BC Office of Sustainability, and that would start with the BC Class of 29 freshmen. It would include mentorship from interns from other green organizations on campus who might come to present during weekly reflections from professors, etc. In addition to personal projects, it's needed because there is a high churn rate. It doesn't require a lot of funding, and or it's needed because it doesn't require a lot of funding, and we don't know much about the BC Office of Sustainability funding from what we could gather online, and there's limited engagement currently with the office because, as we mentioned, it is disconnected from campus both physically and socially, and we're arguing for this program because it's going to foster a strong community and at a low cost, all the while increasing the capacity that the BC Office of Sustainability has to do more.
And then some next steps that the Office of Sustainability could pursue would be to just start development. So to be able to have this program run smoothly, you need leadership and program goals and mission to be outlined from the very beginning. Once you have all those things, then we move on to the summer of 2025, where we can build a mentor program, learning initiatives, and then marketing and applications. And then finally, in the fall of 2025, the pilot cohort begins, where 8 to 12 freshmen are selected. And then from there, the program just continues. And then in spring, it wraps up. And then with this, a little bit of an incentive also to the fellows would be to give them an immediate interview for the Office of Sustainability's intern positions. And then with that, the fellowship comes to an end. And then it's up to you guys to decide if you would like to continue this again in fall of 26 after, getting some fellow feedback, assessing some successes, challenges, and overall its impact on the community. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.